How's it going, everybody?
Welcome back.
Welcome back to DBT, y'all. How's everybody doing, man? My name's Kevin.
And I am Marcus.
You know what, brothers? I got to say this. I was just on the Brother Jeff show, and I know we're here talking about something else, but I was on the Brother Jeff show 2 weeks ago. I said I had two wishes. One, they stopped censoring Wanda James. And then two, DBT comes back on the air. I think your voice is needed and happy to see that everyone's back.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Thank
Oh,
you.
in
I
honor, no
mean,
doubt.
dude, yeah, your voice is needed too, Omar. I mean, you've been out there in the trenches this entire time, really out here making steps and progress for the community. So I appreciate you for keeping the ball rolling. And hey, listen, DBT is in our hearts. The spirit
Always.
of DBT has been rolling forward into this universe this whole time. So, I mean, look, we're here to one, finish out Black History Month. One.
Okay.
Two, announce some news because we have partnered with NAACP and Quitline, Colorado. So I want to first of all, I want to check in with y'all, Marcus, how you been, my brother? Like, you've been out here in the community. I know things been going crazy. How you been holding up? How's your family doing? You know?
Well, just loving being a judge. That's the first thing. So, it's so happy to be back. But as y'all know, as a judge, I got to stay out of the political arena. I got to stay out of the arena where, the things that I miss doing back in the day when we were, talking to candidates, potential candidates, things of that nature. I got to stay out of it. But other than that, I'm happy to be back because this is needed. What we do, I think, is needed, especially for this community. And family's good, family's good. Kids are grown. And that's really where it's at this stage. So three
No,
kids,
that's good.
youngest is 20, oldest is 24. Middle is 23, so grown kids and just trying to enjoy the semi empty nester aspect of life. But it's all good. I'm loving it. Yourself?
Man, I've been holding up, dude. Family's always thriving. I'm proud of my family. They're my older kids are surprising me. Just everyone's just moving on, just like yours, Marcus. Just every time I hear about an update, it's like, man, am I getting old or is everybody just kind of taking off? But I think it's a little bit of column A, a little bit of column B. So now everybody's doing real good. Omar, talk to me, man.
Yeah.
Well, first, I just want to say I'm glad DBT is back on the air, and I'm gonna speak in my official capacity. Then after that, I'll speak just as a regular person that is a huge fan of the work that's being done, the work that was done and will be done in the future by DBT. Since we've talked last, I am now the state conference president for the NAACP, and our
Congrats,
health.
by the way.
Oh, thank you, thank
Lovely.
you, thank
Congrats on
you.
that.
Thank you. And we launched this health and wellness campaign. And I remember when we first started, a few weeks ago, we talked and you said, hey, DBT may be coming back. I said, okay, well, maybe this is an opportunity because y'all still have a huge following in the South Metro region of Denver and probably the Denver Metro region all over. And one of the things that we're doing with our national office is quitting tobacco, saving lives. And we're
Right.
getting it out there that menthol cigarettes and the impact that smoking has on our community when it comes to respiratory issues, heart issues, lung issues, diabetes, all these different things that smoking impacts our everyday our community. We said up on board. Two, we wanted to partner with you and part of your relaunch coming out. So we're happy to be one of the first, it may be the first
That's the
sponsor.
first.
Oh, then we're happy to be the first sponsor of DBT coming back and doing something that's going to support and uplift our community. So I hope we'll be able to times hear the ask, and I'll shut up after this. We want people to have real deep conversations with their families about What does healthy living look like? We're not saying go out and
Mhm.
become vegetarians and all that stuff, but what are some of the simple things hey, maybe if you can't stop smoking, reduce smoking. We have information that's on this flyer. If you need to contact some people in Colorado on how to start that process, one of the some of the things you need to do so that you can live a healthy life, get smoking and tobacco, and so that we can live to be 100 like everyone else. That's what this
You
movement
know,
is about.
Yes.
uh, yes, everything you just said 100%. And I personally have experience with close family members with Colorado Quit Line. And whenever they were really struggling, they always had a number to call.
Yeah.
No, you can't really stress that enough that a lot of times people feel alone with their struggles, especially when it's like something that it's legal. Like how do they balance this psychologically? Like it's at the store. I can just go right there. And I know for a fact I shouldn't do it. I know, it's expensive. I know it's bad for my health. But it's first of all, it's the habit. It's built in culturally, especially when we start talking about menthols. It's targeted to
Mhm.
us in
Yep.
our youth. I
Yes, sir.
remember the Joe Camel, dude. I
Oh,
remember the Cools posters on the convenience store. They
Yes,
looked really
yes.
cool.
And Jet
mhm.
Magazine, Ebony Magazine, if you recall,
Yes.
Yep.
those cigarettes would
Yep.
have a huge presence. But back then, we probably didn't know the health implications. Those magazines was trying to survive. But you're right. The Colorado Quit line is 1-800 Quit Now. 1-800 Quit Now. QUITNOW. So I hope those people who are struggling with this particular type of addiction will be able to call, get the help they need. If please call your local unit of the NAACP, and we'll be happy to support you.
Facts.
Please
I love
call.
it. I love it.
Um, there's so many difficult things going on in the world right now.
Yes, sir.
There's a lot of reasons for people to fall back into their old habits. 2020, well, 2025 was the FAFO year. Everyone was finding out, right? But 2026 should be let's start new positive habits. And it's not like some fad diet or I'm gonna go to the gym 6 days a week this week. Nah, we can't just go full raw vegan. Listen, no hate, no hate, no judgment. But we can't go from eating a fat burger every day to full raw vegan starting on the first and expect everything to go hunky dory. But to have something to back you up is a big deal. And also a community that's understanding that, people done fell off the horse,
Yeah.
but we can get back up and keep on moving forward. So, Omar, I appreciate you for bringing that, first of all, not to my attention, but bringing it back to the forefront of the conversation. And I appreciate NAACP for bringing this back into the conversation in the Black community.
Well, hey, it is an honor to be here with y'all, and it is an honor to be able to be one of the the first sponsor of y'all coming
First.
back. That's just as exciting as that's just as exciting as the campaign itself. We
Yep.
talk
Yep.
about
Yep.
as we when we talk about Black History Month, it is more than just reciting facts. It's also how we live, how we thrive, how we uplift what is the best of Black America. And part of
Mhm.
that is being healthy as much as possible.
That's
Yes, it
it.
is. Health is
That's a
wealth.
fact.
Health.
So
That is
thank
a
you.
fact.
We're happy to be on this campaign. And it looked like my good brother Hashim Coates.
How you
It's
doing,
good to see
Hashim?
you, my brother.
Hey, good evening, greetings. Glad to be back. How y'all doing? Few happy Kwanzas, few Merry
Yep.
Christmas, few Happy New Year's, happy belated birthdays, all that stuff. Yeah,
Yep.
Yes.
and best of all, happy current Black History Month.
Happy current
That
Black History Month.
Yeah.
that's what we were talking about. So, and we were just talking really, Hasim, just to kind of fill you in. We were just talking. Omar has talked. He was talking about being the first sponsor. The NAACP is the first sponsor for Dope Black Thoughts in our return, but also a new program that they just put out about quitting smoking. Specifically, and I'm looking at it in my mind toward Black folks,
Mm-hmm.
because
Please.
I go to my doc every year. Every year. I just came back. All everything's up and up. A1C is good, cholesterol is low, LDL, the good cholesterol, all that stuff. But
Right.
and they always ask, "Do you smoke?" I was like, "No." And so I'm actually happy to see that as well, quite frankly. And so that's just what we were just kind of just talking about that, but we're about to transition. But Kevin,
But
I
before
sent you.
you do that,
Go ahead.
Michael, I don't want to villainize people who do smoke.
Right.
Because
Yes.
some people
Right.
smoke for
Yep.
different reasons. They're stressed out,
Hmm.
they're going through it, and this is their escape. What we're saying is, hey, that escape may also be killing you. That escape may
Hmm.
make some of your problems worse. So, what can we do to help you find a different escape? Is it going out for a walk? Is it, do you need counseling? Do you need for you and your family? What can we do as a community to uplift you where you could transition from smoking and using tobacco and going to and using healthier habits to address your issues?
Yep.
Facts. 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 So, I want to talk a little bit about Black history, but I um had a little event yesterday with
Mhm.
not an event, but it was basically a meeting of kind of a
Where
CLE, continuing legal education. And what I loved about it, and I don't know, Kevin, I just text that to you. I don't know if you can pull that up. Uh,
you're a co-host now. Everybody's a co-host, including
why?
Hashim.
I'm trying to send it to my Gmail to pull it up real quick also.
Okay. And so, well, let me say this. It was an event where we had uh, Gary Jackson,
Good brother. Good brother.
renowned in Colorado.
Yeah. Yeah.
He spent an hour talking to us about Black history, in particular in the legal arena, in the legal realm. He talked about all the Black judges who, and I say all, there was many over the history. He talked about the Black lawyers in Colorado that started this process. He talked about starting the Sam Carey Bar Association,
Mm.
the seven giants who started the Sam Carey Bar Association, and that was rather amazing. And then we presented a picture of the current Black judges in the state of Colorado, which is what I had sent to Kevin. I'm gonna see if I can get this pulled up real quickly because
I got it right
do you,
now. I can pull it up for you.
yeah, pop that up if you could because that was pretty special. There's not many of us. Oh, that's the video. Oh, we can do that later. The next one.
Do that later.
Yeah, now that's my day in the life. The first Black judge, the first judge in the state of Colorado,
Okay.
where the state judicial branch is doing something called stories. And
Okay.
they'll be doing stories of judges, clerks, staff, things of that nature, court reporters. And I was first. And it was a day in the life of Judge Ivy. And it's about 2 minutes, 2.5 minutes, 2 minutes, 55 seconds, that kind of details what it is that I do. And I'm pretty proud of that. But I'm more so proud of that picture because the number of judges here in the state of Colorado are not many. We are underrepresented by far. And also in that picture are four judges who retired, four Black judges who retired. And so, we're trying to make a push to get more judges of color, as well as, more Latinos in office and so forth. But here, if you look at this picture, the 17th, the 18th, the Court of Appeals, the 4th in Denver County, out of 23 counties, only five counties have Black judges. And you see in the 17th up there in Adams that's just three of us. That's me and Judge Jean, and I got Magistrate Kasi who's in the middle. Magistrate Kasi has been there for a while. Judge Jean on the right, he was the first Black judge appointed, and I was the second right behind him, a few months after him or so. Only three in Adams County. We got
That's
four
amazing.
judges in the 18th, which is Arapahoe County. And um, you got Cheryl Rose Stokes there. You got Don Toussaint. And you know who that is, don't you, Omar?
My partner, man. He's and you know what? My good brother is so active in the NAACP. He does so much work. Yeah, yeah, yes.
Joe
Joe
Whitfield.
Whitfield,
And then
Judge Whitfield.
we got Judge LaQuanya Baker. So the 18th, and then you look at the rest of the judges in district court. We got three beautiful black women who are absolutely phenomenal at the job that they're doing. And then, as you see in county court, we got four down there in Denver County Court. Then you got our retired judges. But here's the thing: the second highest court in the land of the state of Colorado, Court of Appeals, that's Judge Pax Moultrie. She's the only black judge in the upper courts, the only one.
How many
And
judges are on the Court of Appeals?
Yeah, on the Court of Appeals.
No,
So
no,
she's
no.
one of 21 judges, I think.
One of 21. Okay.
So,
And
That's amazing.
I was able to serve on the selection committee for the Court of Appeals in the state Supreme Court. I just termed out, and I can't go into a lot of the discussions, but I can say that the black judges that came up to interview all did an amazing job. And we just have to keep that pipeline going in regards to judges going through these, and being at the Court of Appeals, being a state Supreme Court justice, because when you have a voice in that arena, you can do a lot, you can make a lot of change. So I'm looking forward to
Definitely.
seeing more judges move up.
But okay, so who makes the decision process from the board? So you all do the interviewing, if I'm correct, right?
Yes, yes,
And then write recommendations.
yes,
And then who makes the final decision from that point?
governor.
so
So
the
that's where the
committee,
pressure needs to be applied, right? Or
well,
the
both,
committee
both,
reviews.
well,
Right,
both.
right,
So you got the nominating committee. So how it starts out is a person will submit an application,
Yes.
hmm
letters of recommendation. They'll submit that to the committee. The committee, actually, everyone on the committee reads all the applications and they choose who they want to interview. And and it could vary, depending on how many you have. So like we just had a recent Supreme Court justice go up, Judge just will soon be Justice Susan Blanco. But there was a lot of people that put their applications in, but they interviewed people over a 2-day period. And out
Yes.
of all those people that they interview, the committee has to make the hard job of leveling it down to three people. You have to
Yes.
okay,
submit three people. Those three people go to the governor, and the governor makes a decision based upon interviews. So the governor will be at the interviews along with his staff. So you need pressure on both because first of all, you're not guaranteed an interview. That's the first
right.
thing. And then if you do get an interview, you're not guaranteed to be put up in the three finalists as well. So there's all areas that you can apply that pressure.
And
So
I
then my
can
next
say,
question
oh,
is,
go
what does
ahead.
that board look like?
Um, like I said, because of some of the stipulations in regards to one, you can go and look at the list. It's on the who's all up is on the state Supreme Court
Okay,
Yep.
list. That list is there. That list is public. I just came off this year, and I think past state senator Janet Buckner is on it now.
She is on it. Yep.
I
got you. Well,
can't.
let me rephrase the question. Out of
Yes.
the people on the board, if
Mhm.
they all brought potato salad, how many potato salads are you eating?
The people depends on who makes the potato salad. Who's making the potato salad? The black folks or the white folks?
Listen, I'm just
You
all the
know,
people on the
Hashim
board.
comes with these quotes, and sometimes, I'm still
Everybody makes
fasting,
potato
and
He
my
salad.
wants
How
brain
many
is not
he
working as
wants to
potato
fast.
salads are
know
you eating?
how many potato salads are going to have raisins in them.
Or
Oh,
won't?
okay. Now I could rock with that. I could rock with that. I can
Uh-huh.
say it was a pretty diverse board, and we had our first Native American judge that was sent to. I think she went to
Excellent.
this.
She
What
wouldn't. Yeah,
was she Supreme Court or Court of Appeals? I can't remember.
quarter of appeals.
Court of Appeals, and so people of color was being interviewed, and sometimes it was multiple peoples of color, and and that's
But yeah, but let's talk about this, Hashim, because I think where you're going is
I
how
know
many
where Hashim's
people.
going.
Yeah. So here's the thing. Many people don't apply for these positions. Many people don't know that these positions are out there and open. And that's the other thing. And then once you term out, you don't really get to go back and do it again. And so sometimes it's a struggle to find people to fill these positions on these nominating committees, on these judicial performance committees. And so the governor just made picks just recently, filling some of these spots. But it's a matter of putting your application in. And Hashim, you know a lot of people. That's easy probably for you to get appointed to one of these committees if
Me?
you are interested.
Nah,
It could be,
Jeff.
it's easy.
You
I'm
know,
But
telling you.
but you need those
Hashim does
voices
this
on
thing
it.
of telling the truth that's unfiltered, respectful but unfiltered.
I
And
got you.
Right.
so, I don't know. But I also have another question is what is the
Mhm.
legal record, because I don't want to use criminal record, of those on the board as well, too? If someone happens to have a strike against them, are they able to serve? Does it matter if it's felony or
I'm
misdemeanor?
I'm not 100% sure about that, to be honest.
Me
Okay.
neither. Me
And
neither.
that's something we probably need to research. But I would say this, for Black folk, we need to be on all these boards and commissions. I was
Great.
Yeah.
happy to be able to serve on that one for a certain amount of time, and I think it was about 6 years. About 6 years, I was able to serve,
Man.
Yeah.
and able to see our Black judges go up and do amazing. Um, and there's another thing is it ain't that many slots open. Even within that 6 years, I think it was mostly Court of Appeals
Yeah.
that had slots open, and maybe two state Supreme Court justices slots that were open.
Yeah. I
And
think,
I can
yep.
say, the judges, the Black judges that came up and interviewed did an amazing job. And what I hope is that in the future, we do have a Black state Supreme Court justice, and I think it could happen if there are some openings. But we also have some young judges, so some people are going to be on there a while.
Yeah. And just for the record, we've had one black state court judge in the state of Colorado.
Dang.
One. And
Hey,
go ahead.
no, I just said, damn.
Yeah.
Yeah, same thing. Well, how long ago was that?
I had to look up the year again.
And how long
It
did
just
they serve?
yes. See, it was only, yeah, it was the only black Supreme Court judge, only black Colorado Supreme Court justice. And let me see. I have to think for a second, but I have to find it. It was Gregory K. Scott. I knew it. I knew the name, and I couldn't remember it. Gregory K. Scott um, was an associate Supreme Court justice from
Mhm.
1993 to 2000.
Wow.
Here's the great part, and here's why. Here's why it was in the back of my mind because I kind of remembered him. He graduated from the same place I graduated from. That can you see that little trident back there? Indiana University. He graduated from
Indiana.
Indiana University, as did I, of course.
That's
Uh,
awesome.
and only black Supreme Court justice in the state of Colorado served for 7 years.
Very
I think
nice.
that's something that needs to be talked about. I would love to learn his story. That
Yep,
was before I moved to Colorado, so I would love to
that was
learn his
too.
story.
Let's
And
get a little look at them real quick.
Yep.
Well,
the
I was
impact.
here, you transplants.
Hey man, then you should have knew this history. That's
You
my fault.
invaders. You invaders. You're right.
How
I
come
I'm
you
should.
didn't
I
not.
know this
should.
history?
I just
Yeah.
didn't. Everybody thinks I know everything, and my only thing is I can say to them is that I'm so sorry that the little bit I know seems like everything to everybody.
Hashim said, "We ain't Coloradans, we colonizers."
I was gonna say interlopers, but call nine, whatever. I let people self-identify.
I
Yeah.
don't know if I have the power to colonize anybody. So
I
hey.
know, right?
Oh man.
Well, I do know that originally, Kevin, you was looking for a post that Hashim had put up about
Good
Jesse
luck.
Yeah,
Jackson.
I know. Yeah, good luck. Thank you. That
And
was
I do
a
post a lot,
dry run on
everybody.
that mission.
and I know that for me that was a I was not I was pretty upset when he passed away, and probably because I was able to have personal interaction with him, and he knew my father,
Mm,
and him
Mm.
and my father had a conversation, and I was able to have a 15-minute leadership one-on-one conversation with Jesse Jackson, and that stuck with me for a very long time. He just was honest. He says not everybody is going to come to meetings. It's always going to be three or four, but you in that three or four have to do all you can to uplift whatever mission or whatever campaign you're doing at that moment. And he said, never get frustrated about who's not there. Only celebrate those who are there, and thou keep the movement going. So it was that 15 minutes taught me a lot.
And
Yeah, that's strong.
it's my hat for a few reasons, right? Black History Month started by Carter G. Woodson, Jesse
Was
Jackson,
it
Ty.
are both of
No,
them
no,
evangelists?
I'm gonna do it. You're gonna have it all. And I tip my hat to them because these are honorable men of Omega Psi Phi Fraternity Incorporated,
Thank you.
who've made a big, lasting, important impact on society, not just America, but globally. And when Reverend Jackson died, I mean, it's weird. I took it hard, right?
Hmm.
And um,
Yeah.
I rarely talked about it much, which was why it was weird, right? But it was still impactful, which is why it meant that much to me. And I remember when he came to Colorado in '88, and he was at First Avenue Baptist Church right off of 14th and Grant. And I remember him, speaking the melodic tones of his voice, his rhythmic cadence. And, Black folks loved it. Like, Black folks loved it. And I also remember hearing some of the grumblings about it, from some white kids in school, which is basically message that carried on from their parents. But I remember at that church, I was like, wow, I gotta go outside. It was so hot in there. But I remember sitting on the step and still hearing his words. And then when you reflect on Jesse Jackson, and the work that he's done, and my vein is in politics,
Hmm.
he was very impactful, especially to the Democratic Party.
Yes.
Um, you can't acknowledge any type of Black advancement after 1984 but not give credit to Reverend Jesse Jackson.
Yeah.
He, you know, I can't recall the statements that he made that were labeled as anti-Semitic in 1984, but he came back in '88 and he kept going even harder. And if it was not for him, even the level of lack of seriousness that I said the party does not give to Black people, it would be worse. It
Well,
would
let's
be
put this
worse.
post up.
Okay. And also, I just want to acknowledge the fact that, we have all these Bernieites, Bernie bros, Bernie fanatics. But the issue that chaps my ass with them and with Bernie is that they do not give reverence to Jesse Jackson, which is where Bernie got most of his platform from Jesse Jackson's two campaigns.
Mm.
So if not for Jesse, not for us in the work of the Democratic Party as Black people, also this progressive agenda that these people are running as well too.
Yes.
Yes. Um,
Let's go to this post though. I
yeah.
mean, because you were spitting, Hashim. I read that a few weeks ago, and
It
I was
did.
like, it hit home. And I really wasn't boned up on Jesse. Don't get it twisted. I'm not gonna sit here in front like I remember everything. I remember he did the Rainbow Coalition.
Mm-hmm.
But am I sharing successfully? Like, is it showing on the side of us here? Because in the
Yes.
Yeah,
host box it looks
well,
different.
I
Hmm.
see it.
Yep.
Okay.
Aren't you
Honoring
the
the
youngest
memory
one
and
up here? Don't
legacy.
don't don't have none of those boomer moments, Kevin.
Well, I don't see what you see. I don't see what you see. But
Forgive
honoring
me,
the
my brother.
memory and legacy of Jesse Jackson, his work and service dedicated to humanity and to lifting up and promoting his people and community. The Burn is that some of Reverend Jackson's greatest works are the platform of the current day progressive movement. There were efforts to shrink Jackson's greatness and hide his significance by attempting to reduce him to just slogans. But on today and forevermore, I want you to know it isn't a slogan. It is a chant, a prayer, a spell, or what have you that releases the greatness of our heritage. Go forward and always remember to tell yourself, I am somebody. Run,
Well
Jesse,
done.
run was the message he heard so clearly. So now I say, rest, Jesse, rest. Job well done.
Great job.
Absolutely.
Great
That
post.
reminds me of a sermon that my pastor back in Baytown, Texas, at Antioch Missionary Baptist Church, he would always end it with servant, well done. Bishop Reverend Sherman Gray Jr. He's still with us, but he suffered a couple strokes, and his son Sherman Gray III is still preaching in his honor. But like talking about a job well done, dude, we only get one shot at this life.
Yeah.
I've had a couple brushes with death myself, and like sometimes I look back like, I'm glad I did that. like served on the school board with Marcus, where I met Omar. And when I was campaigning, where I met you, Hashim. Like
Mhm.
y'all held me to account because y'all know, hey, listen, a brother can drop the ball, but when he has role models and people that inspire him and people that are willing to hold his feet to the fire, you can do a lot. I feel like I did a lot for the kids in Aurora in
Absolutely.
those 4 years when I would have just otherwise, dude, I would have just been driving a truck up and down the road. You know what I mean? So for me, I was inspired by those 4 years. That's a feather in my cap, and that's something that can never be taken away from me. I feel like I did a job well. But Jesse, brother, and listen, these three gentlemen here on this screen with me, I feel like y'all have made really large advancements. Dude, now I'm a big fan of giving people their flowers.
Oh,
I
me
really
too.
am.
Me too.
Uh, Omar, bro, thank you for saying when I made my first speech at the NAACP, now don't let this be the last time I see you. Marcus, thank you for suggesting me to be the vice president on the school board and trusting me to be in a leadership role and not just be just another vote on a movement, and also, being willing to partner with me for forming DBT. Hashim, thank you for helping me find more of my progressive voice and be willing to just say this stuff out loud. Because I'm gonna tell you, for 10 years before y'all ever met me, people were telling me I should run for office, and I told them straight up, they'll kill me if I run for office in Texas. I always felt like that. I mean,
Mm,
and now we're hearing
mm.
all these conspiracies and stuff like that. Dude, I always felt like it just wasn't safe for me to be who I am and whatnot. And then I did, and people were buying my chili, turns out, right? I would have never found that,
I like that.
without people like Hashim for real. So thank you, gentlemen, for partnering with us and partner with me. I mean, to actually just move forward as a stronger black man. And I'm remembering all the stuff that we did with DBT and with Omar and Hashim in this Black History Month because we're making Black history right now.
Yeah. And that's another ode to Reverend Jackson, his Rainbow Coalition. I mean, the coalition idea, I just when you said that post again, I was angry, but also mourning when I wrote the post because I'm like, yeah, they do. They always try to sanitize us and reduce down to just simple things like slogans and rhythmic statements. But that is ideology of understanding that we have to build it together, which is supported by American history. I mean, there really has been no forward black or progression for black people that has ever been done solely alone. And
Correct.
and we can spend hours critiquing that or whatever, but I mean that is really the key out of this is coalition, is everybody, is everything. And Fred Hampton died for actually making those type of steps and that type of unity as well. Dr.
Well,
King died,
mhm.
when he began to preach that message as well too. So, God bless whatever God you believe in, all the gods together. Bless, Reverend Jackson and his legacy for him making it this far, with that messaging and with that belief. So yeah, it's all about that. And then his speeches that he would give, the talking point on Sesame Street. I did cry. I watched the video when he was on
Oh,
Sesame Street
I
and he's
remember
telling
that.
these kids, I am somebody.
Yeah.
yeah.
And it's I am somebody is so elementary in the
Yes.
grammatical structure, but it's not PhD it's beyond PhD academic level and spiritual when you have those wordings and you embed them into kids who are forced into being marginalized. You're like, wow, I am somebody. Yeah, we got to shut that up. From the status quo
Yep.
perspective, once you begin instilling that in people, and he said it to not just black, but Latino. I mean, they were like, what, red, yellow, brown. That was the language of the day back then.
Right.
And white. He put that in everybody, and he was a firm believer in that. And so, Omar, when you're talking about how the conversations that you had with him, who knew Omegas could be so insightful, but to just continue to go and to continue never to give up. I'm like, yeah, that's refreshing, reinvigorating, and just understanding what he went through, and he still said, "Keep hope alive."
100%.
Yeah.
I just got to say that you ever met someone, because you're thinking about it, this is the early 90s when I met him. And he's coming off his presidential campaigns. He's still a big star, getting people was those people in Iran that he went and got?
Yes.
Yeah,
They were in I were
19,
they in
yeah.
Iran?
Iran or Cuba as well too. Like he international
Yeah.
presence.
Yeah. So he was able to use his presence, as Hashim said, to go out and say, hey, without an army, without guns, and
Mhm.
go out and say, hey, I'm gonna bring these people home. And by the way, I'm gonna treat the people that capture them with humanity as well. And the fact that he was able to navigate that with humanity, not with a gun, not blowing people up, is part of why we must celebrate him, and not just celebrate him. As I think Hashim said it so eloquently when he was on there with the little kids on Sesame Street. Just the simple
Mhm.
term, I am somebody. Imagine if black people said that every single morning, and before they go to work, before they go to school, form better in school? Would we
Yep.
stop some of the pathologies that impact our community? Would we be more advanced economically if we just said those three words every single day in the morning?
Yep.
Yep.
And Omar,
A
it was
simple phrase.
Syria, Cuba, Yugoslavia, Iraq, and Liberia. That's what he had
Jesus.
impacts at related to diplomatic experiences.
So if I can just throw this out,
Mhm.
um, I was angry at what took place when he passed. I was
Sure.
angry with the silencing. I was angry that this notable black giant was not able to lay in state. And it actually it hurt. It actually hurt. Um, and as a black man who happens to be a judge, I don't have the comfort of being able to be loud and
Mhm.
emotional about things. We're expected to be reserved and
Mhm.
quiet, but it hurts because people are trying to erase and rewrite that history, and it just hurts. The things that I'd love to say, I can't. But
Yeah.
all of that, just being reminded of those things that you just went through, and I remember the Sesame Street. I remember these things that you say them, and then you forget. Doggone it, this man did a lot. Never with a gun,
Mhm.
never with a fight, never with a high voice. He just took his time and said what he needed to say. His
Yep.
actions spoke so much louder.
In the civility, never a hateful comment.
Nope.
That Rainbow Coalition, and the thing you were talking about, Hashim, about coalition building, that
Mhm.
necessarily a minority needs to build coalitions, right? And like that put us into the correct mind frame of power mapping and and leverage, leverage certain positions. Now imagine if we had that message right now, if our community had cornered an industry, such as, like I always bring it, like imagine if the black community had cornered the market of mechanic work the way other communities have cornered the market of convenience stores, right?
Mm,
If during Black history, if X, Y, and Z happens, which does, you know, that everybody's gonna have a problem getting their cars fixed. They're gonna not be able, like just something, and I believe the Target boycott was very instrumental in showing the black people that there's so much power, in just exercising your voice, even if your money has to be your speech. But we need to be reminded of the power in our community and the power that has been exercised in our community in the past as well, because we are standing on the shoulders of giants. We got to keep on making steps. So,
Yep.
I
Yep.
think I
And I
think
just
we're
want to,
moving forwards in that.
when we talked about the he wasn't able to be laid in state at the Capitol. Um, I was in the car with my good friend Wanda James, who is CU Region and running for Congress for Congressional District
And, and,
One.
and wait and wait a minute, Hashim, just to put a pause. I had two wishes on the Brother Jeff show. One,
Right.
Okay.
DBT come back, and two, they stop the censure of Wanda James. Wanda James need to be able to do her full job, and we still stand on that. So go ahead.
Valid, valid, valid. Um, and we were talking about it. And so she was fired up at the fact that that wasn't happening and the fact that they would even reject the idea because they put that Charlie Kirk person, like they did all this stuff for Charlie Kirk, right? They lowered the flag or whatever. So she said, so she was like, well, what can we do here? And I was like, well, I don't know. She's like, I do. And she texted Jared Polis. And she was like, hey, can we lower the flag for Jesse Jackson? And so next thing I know, the next morning I woke up in less than 24 hours, there was an announcement coming out that the flag was being lowered. And I mean, and I saw the text go out. So I just, that's leadership. That's responsive leadership as well, too. And I'm glad she asked and I'm glad he agreed and made that decision to do that. So yeah, we can lead the way, Colorado.
Yes.
And Kevin, when you brought up the Target boycott, don't get me wrong, I think boycotts are necessary, but also what does the opposite look like? Uplifting Black businesses. Imagine, because let's just say you tell people not to spend money in one place. Are you telling them and sharing with them where to spend the money that they would get those goods from that store? Um, Sometimes when we have boycotts, it's like, okay, we're punishing this business economically. My question is, how are we uplifting Black businesses when we're boycotting the white businesses? And
No,
sometimes
no,
that
there
get
were
lost.
instructions.
Sometimes that get lost in the conversation. And
Yeah,
it's like,
you
okay,
couldn't just jump on the wave. You have to be informed and disciplined with any sort of a political action that you're going to take because now between AI and the very structured and well-funded misinformation going on out there, if you're just jumping on the wave, it's just a fad for you, you're not only going to waste your time, you may criminalize yourself, you may put yourself at risk of bodily harm, and you could lose economic, you can have economic costs. So in the instructions for that Target boycott, they were saying, at first it was just don't go to Target. And then after a while, they started hearing from those Black vendors inside of Target. And they were saying, okay, here's a list of the people that are on the shelf, and they don't want to lose shelf space. If they lose shelf space, they lose access to dollars and cents across the entire country. Go into Target, walk past every single thing except for these brands. You target, go to Target and target these brands. So, I mean, there was instructions. I
but
think
but there
they
but
were
there was a
figuring it
del-
out as they went.
But there was a dilemma with that because there were Black people going into Target, and then people see them going into Target, not knowing that they're buying Black products and being
Right.
criticized for going into Target. so,
Exactly.
and so those instructions have to be thought out in advance because
In
one,
advance.
you don't want to harm or hurt, you don't want to harm Black businesses. And there was a lot of Black businesses that had contracts with Target. I'm not saying I was
Mhm.
against the boycott. I just thought in some cases there needed to be some more, as you stated, some more instructions on how to support those vendors that would lose money from Black people not shopping at Target.
Yeah, and with any, well, first I want to say that Jamal Bryant organized that, and he's a member of Kappa Alpha Psi, so they always have room to do better. But sorry, with any organization or any protest, right? There's always
Yes,
room
it is. You're right.
to do better. There's always room to do
You're
different
right.
planning or whatever. And like when you look at any war, any battle, you don't approach it from one
That's true.
direction.
That's true.
You approach it from multiple directions. Stop shopping at Target. Boom. If you have to shop at Target or stop shopping at Target is one. Shop at Target and buy Black products is two. Um, Stop shopping at Target and at Walmart and order directly from the Black distributor. Right? Like,
Right.
so it's there's
No,
multiple ways to
that's
approach it
fair.
or
That's
whatever. And,
fair.
and
That's fair.
sometimes
That's fair.
we are short-sighted and fast too. I'm a 0 to 100 person sometimes. Um, on the
Really?
critique aspect of, yeah.
I've
A
never
little
seen
bit,
you
a little
go to
bit.
100.
I know. Well, sometimes it's faster, so you don't see it. You blink and you completely miss it, and I'm there already. Own it. I own it. Um, but we also have to understand that the actions are rooted, especially when it comes from us as a people in this country. And I'm gonna use a term, not that I agree with it, but I'm using a term for identification purposes only. Foundational Black Americans, right? Or
Hmm.
foundational Black people.
Okay.
We are a chew the meat and throw away the bone type of people. Our experience here is so unique that
Yes,
you
sir.
have to be able to look at it and say, "Oh, this is why that pain. This is why people express. It's a thing out of pain. It's a thing of being triggered out of trauma. It's a thing of not having that type of support. You know. So yes, this is a learning lesson, right?
Agree. Agree.
Be
Agree.
more descriptive with our plans for our boycotts, and also allow a little bit of grace when you see people going into Target or you see people doing these type of shopping things, and approach it from multiple aspects. So
I never criticized anybody going to Target because I don't know their
I am.
situation. Is
Yeah.
is it an
Yeah, I am.
emergency? Do their pharmacy belong there? That's the closest pharmacy they have. There were different things that sometimes Target was the only store within a certain amount of distance if you're on public
Right. Right.
transportation, things of this nature. So I never criticized people for shopping in Target. Um, and I think you're right, Hashim. We not only have to give grace when it comes to different boycotts and things of this nature. That word to be spread out and rooted within our Black community. Not to bring up bad news, I just got a text that a 15-year-old was murdered in Aurora. This is today.
Jesus.
Or is it today or late last night? So my thing is that in to spread the goodwill? How do we begin to spread Jesse Jackson, I am some? How do we begin to spread what and model what does grace look like? And
Mhm.
I think we can do a whole lot in our community just doing those two things. It don't cost nothing. You don't need a grant. Okay, then let me do this. First, there's a traditional way, Kevin, that y'all used to end dope black thoughts. So it's on you, bro.
Yeah, ended with a dope black thought. Listen, everybody can have a dope black thought. It's not just on me. I don't have anything loaded up on deck right now. Um, uh,
How about this?
seeing as Marcus was on this episode, I don't want to say anything too political. Um,
Right.
my dope black thought is, Black history, first of all, is real. Because right now it's been metamorphosizing and changing and there's a lot of AI slop out there rewriting it left and right on top of the state of Texas, right? So first of all, Black history is real, Black history matters. Uh, and I mean honestly I could just end it at that because I could go really deep on that. Black history is real and Black history matters.
Awesome.
In the memory of our good brother Jesse Jackson, I am
Yes,
somebody.
All
I
right.
am
Oh,
somebody.
well, all right. So my thought, I'm gonna be a little loquacious, right? Yes, to the two dope black thoughts that you all dropped on that. Also, I encourage people right now to get involved. I know I'm not going to get super political, but we are in political season right now. Hashim Cope, as an individual, support Jasmine Crockett all the way through. I also
Oh yeah.
support Wanda James all the way
Yeah.
through. I support a bunch of other people too, but I'm just going to end it right there. Let's make history. We can do this. This is our time to do this. Also, um, self care. And part of my self care, I grabbed a book by New York Times bestseller author Clay Kane. Twice he's done this. His latest book is Burn Down Master's House. It is
Hmm.
historical fiction. Um, and I'm in it right now. I'm really enjoying. I've just started
Let's get it.
today, but I encourage people to pick that up. Find something black and support it with your money. Period.
Thank you. Thank you. Keep a black dollar in the black community for a few more seconds, would you? Jeez, we're counting our dollars in seconds. They're counting theirs
Yeesh.
in months. They just being most other communities.
Other than us, yes.
Days, weeks, months. So yeah, we need to just cycle money through the community. And that's a form of self-care in a capitalist society. Being economically healthy. Take care of your black finances. So thank you. That was a good dope black thought. And I want to thank you, Omar, for bringing us our first sponsorship. I want to thank you, Hashim, for hopping on our first return show. Thanks to Marcus again for being a leader and partnering to help us keep continue moving forward. So that's good for me, man. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you. DBT out.
Peace, love, and stay black.